Sandy Says Read. Welcome to the channel. Today we are gonna do the Newbie BookTube tag. No one tagged me on this, and I've been doing this channel for I think 2 months, 2.5 months. So I'm not exactly a newbie, which you can't tell by looking at the reflection coming off the glasses and my lighting and whatever. I am still fairly new to BookTube. So this is new to me. This is something way outside of my comfort zone, okay guys? So I thought, okay, it's time to do the newbie tag. And I've gone totally retro for this. I've got the collar popped, I've got on my 80s bracelets, I've got on my Duran necklace. I am going 80s for this, so you all understand. Since I'm introducing myself to you with this newbie tag, I am of the 80s. I am a child of the 80s, and I dig it, I embrace it, it is who I am. Although I read books from every generation, from every decade, from every century, I love reading everything. Everything. In fact, one of these questions on here was really difficult to answer because of that. So what I'm hoping from this is that you guys will get involved in a conversation with me. Please, in the comment box below, let's converse. Comment, share some ideas and some thoughts and some of your responses that you would give to some of these questions that are asked in this. I am going to put the link to the original newbie tag creator below. I found that. I did some research and found that original one. Okay, Brenda C. is the one who originated this tag, and I'm going to include her link, or I'm going to include a link to her original video in the drop-down box below. Also, I noticed that she originally had, 7 questions, and then as this tag has developed over the years, more questions have been added. And so there's 10 of them now. I wrote this down on a notebook because, as you guys may know from some of the things I've posted here, my host enjoys the tactile sensation. So let's dive in. All right, the first question is, why did you start this channel? And I have 2 responses to that. The first one is extremely selfish. The first reason I wanted to start this channel is because I wanted an outlet for marketing. I know, selfish, exactly. But I also discovered my second reason is that I wanted to talk about books with people. I have missed being able to just sit down and immerse myself in a book in another world, and then when I come out of it, talk to someone about it. I don't have a lot of reader friends in real life. Finding the BookTube community was amazing. I did not know the BookTube community was out there until I did International Promo Day with Joe Linsdell back in May. And she mentioned it, and I was like, wait, what is this BookTube thing of which you speak? And I just was alight and delighted when I discovered what she was talking about. And this is amazing. So I'm excited to be part of this community now. Question number 2 is, what are some fun or unique things that I can bring, or my channel can bring, to BookTube? And looking around the BookTube community, as I have been doing since early May, I see so much really out here. I mean, people enjoy so many different types of books, so many different genres, so many different authors. There is so much in the BookTube community that you can pick and choose what you wish to talk about on any given day, and someone is talking about it, or someone is giving a forum for that conversation. So that kind of diversity and that kind of welcomeness is out there, and so I am pleased to see that. I think the only thing I can really add to that is I want to be a part of the positivity and the optimisms out there. I very much want to avoid negativity, and some of the videos or posts that focus on disappointment in books or things that we did not enjoy, I hope that I can avoid that on my channel as much as possible and focus more on the positivity and what I do enjoy about a book, or what I do enjoy about an author or about a series. I don't want to mislead other readers in saying, that a book has all these wonderful parts to it, when in fact it may be a book that, sucks completely. But I also don't want to rip apart a book and show negativity and pessimism and bad things. I want to be a voice that is positive and uplifting and upbeat and fun. I want this to be a fun channel, so that when people come to my channel, they see something that is entertaining and educational and hopefully fun, even if that is funny because I've done something crazy and wacky that I didn't mean to do, or that, there's still light reflecting off my glasses, a year from now. Even if it's just something funny, I'm hoping that my channel is a source of amusement and positivity. That's what I want to bring to the channel. Okay, so question number 3, I think will dovetail into the answer I gave on number 2, which is, what are you most excited for about this new channel? And that's really it. I want to just talk positively and in good, positive, happy ways about books. I want to talk about books with people. Question number 4 is, why do you love reading? Oh my gosh, I should have thought about this one before I started filming. All right, I think that my answer to why I love reading is similar to a lot of other people's answer, and that is because it just takes you away for a little while. There is a lot of stress and a lot of adulting that has to go on in my life. I love my job. I have an awesome job and I love it, but it does get stressful. I've got a deadline every month. You got to hit that deadline, which is just part of the job. And I have other freelance jobs that I do besides that. So there is stress. So when you sit down to read a book, you can just put all of that stuff like on the back burner for a little while and just get wrapped up in another world, for 2 or 3 hours. It's wonderful. And question number 5 asks, what books or series got you into reading? And I think there were several that got me into reading. The Little House on the Prairie series, my cousins gave me one of those books, and I think it was Little House in the Big Woods. I think that I got that one as a Christmas present one year, and I was off. That was perfect for me. I wanted every one of those books from then on, and read them and reread them during the summers. I loved it. The Hobbit, I think I was in 4th grade when my dad brought that book home for me to read, and I got into fantasy at that point. Fantasy was awesome. And I knew that I was going to enjoy fantasy the rest of my life as soon as I read The Hobbit. Question number 6 asks what questions I would ask some of my favorite booktubers. And I think I need to ask about lighting, but I think I would also, ask about some of their goals with their booktube channels. I kind of want to see what their goals are and what goals I should set for mine. Other than just, coming on here and talking about books with folks who follow the channel, are there some other goals that I should set? Is there a rule that I should be following? I don't think that there is. Other than just being a polite and good member of the BookTube, community. Question number 7 asks, what challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? And I'm already overcoming one of them, and that was, creating a schedule and keeping to it. I really thought I would have a great deal of difficulty with the whole scheduling concept. Marketing 101 is, if you're going to give content to your audience, you got to get on a schedule. You've got to be consistent and dependable so your audience can come to rely on you. So I've gotten myself to a point where I know I can create enough content to have videos posting on Tuesdays and Sundays. I know I can stick to that schedule. If I can do, and I was on Twitter at the very beginning of Twitter. Yeah, I am ancient. I told you I'm a child of the 80s. I am ancient. So I've seen so much negativity and so much of that troll mindset on those other platforms that I'm just like, I don't want that happening here. I want my channel to remain very positive and upbeat, and I don't want any troll to come on here and say something nasty to one of my followers. I want to be able to nip that in the bud and make sure that everyone plays nice together, that everyone is able to express opinions kindly and nicely to one another. I want to be able to moderate that. no matter what I have posted, you know, people can come on and they can give their opinion in a very kind and a very respectful manner, whether they agree with me or not, whether they agree with one another or not, and we can just have a very kind discourse and be kind to each other. That's what I want, is kindness. So I want to keep the trolls at bay, I guess, and I see that as a challenge because there's so much trolling on the other social media platforms out there. And I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want it. Okay, so those first 7 questions were the ones that were on the original tag that I saw, and then there were 3 more questions that I found other booktubers answering. Number 8, when did you start reading? And I started reading before kindergarten. I was very fortunate that my grandfather would read to me when I was a little girl, and I remember sitting on his lap in his easy chair in the living room at Grandma and Grandpa's house, and he would read to me, you know, the Little Golden Books and the Dick and Jane book, and he was helping me learn to read. And question number 9, where do you read? Everywhere. I read everywhere. One of these tags that I did before, I think I shared with you all the confession that I will read in the bathroom. I will do it. I read in bed, I read on the couch, I read on airplanes. Anywhere, anytime. The last question, this one's a doozy. All right, the last question is, what kind of books do you like to read? Oh, you guys, I like just about every kind of book there is. So I put them in order. Are you ready? My number 1 favorite is, no surprise, fantasy. I love fantasy. And then my number 2 is high fantasy. Number 3 is science fiction. Number 4 is classics. Number 5 is paranormal. Number 6 is young adult fantasy. Number 7 is mysteries. Number 8 is thrillers. Number 9 is like nonfiction and business. My number 10 is paranormal romance. Yeah, I broke these things out. Okay. My number 11th favorite is regular romance and regular young adult and regular contemporary and graphic novels. I just put them all together. And then my number 12 is biographies. And I kind of stopped listing them there because everything else I think can get lumped together after that. I love everything. I love to read everything. But, you know, fantasy is my just absolute favorite, which is why I've been writing fantasy since I can remember. Yeah. Okay, so that is my newbie tag. I hope that you learned a little bit more about me than what you've been learning watching the channel so far. Hey, guys, subscribe. You know, hit that little bell icon below so that you'll be notified each time I update this channel, because I do post some things that are funny, and I want you guys to be part of this community. Thank you so much.